everybody. Let's bring the music back on while I get lots of different things set up. Apologies in advance if you can hear my dog. He is being a little rambunctious boy this morning, but he will be okay. Now, a couple of things. Hello. Lovely to see you all. I need to set up a bunch of stuff. Hold on. Let's extend. Okay. Over here. And in a little bit, when I do this, y'all will hopefully be able to see my screen. Go ahead and share. We should see some trees. Perfect. Hello, hello. Yes, I'm aware that Google Chrome is accessing my screen. Thank you. Amazing. Okay. Let's go ahead and do a couple of things before we get started. And that's mostly going to be just on to share our check-in link. So let me go ahead and grab that. That is right in here. Mac and trees indeed. But for those of you who are looking to check in, I've went ahead and dropped the check-in link right on the chat. And then we are I'm also going to go ahead and point to our Notion page, which I will look at in a quick second. So this is our Notion page from last time. We're going to be continuing on with this project that we worked on previously. Hello and hello. Sweet. You can go ahead and access this link at the link that's scrolling down on the bottom, mlh.link/resources, has all of these things for you. So this is our repository. I've not done much to clean it up since Open Source Week, but it does have a decent start of everything. And I thought that today would be a cool idea to kind of work through and figure out how to best continue these things using some of the cool AI tools that we have out there, pretty much. And hello to some more of our viewers. Amazing. So within here, I'm also going to go ahead and post this link. It's Tuesday, June 17th from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. EST, which is part 1. And that is at 12:06. Yes. Go ahead and grab this. I copy and paste it. And to start off, I'm just going to give you a super quick overview of this project and kind of what we've done. So this was the start of Open Source Week. So we did a few things of prerequisites built with and a contributing file. So for those of you who are maybe looking to contribute to our project, there are a few things to set up here to generally help create this project, right? So we have the MIT license, right? Our contributors, how to contribute to the project. And then generally our roadmap here, right? Our usage, our installation, our built with and our table of contents and everything else, right? We did a lot of setup last time, right? Where we kind of just started our authentication process. So I believe if we go back to Visual Studio Code, this should be the last thing that I've worked on. So it should still open up. Yep, perfect. Sweet. So this is our project setup from last time, right? So what we can go ahead and do is open up 2 terminal windows. This is running a few commands in here. We could go ahead and run the backend, right? So this runs the server. And then if we go ahead and look in here, is it open source and can we contribute? Yeah, this is a project that I have left over from GHW May. So there's already open good first issues for you to contribute if you would like. Technology wise, like tech, like, you know, like pushing code. The project probably will not be there today, but I have a feeling you might be able to contribute by the end of June. And then maybe it'll be back for GHW July. We'll see. Right, so then we have our database. So to explain, when we laid out this project, right, we have some of the projects getting started. I'm a bit late. What workshop is this? Thanks. You're not that late. We had some tech difficulties getting started this morning, so you really have not missed much yet. This is GenAI for EdTech. So we're working through an open source project from Global Hack Week May. And we're going to be going ahead and using some cool AI tools to smooth out some last minute changes and walk through kind of, you know, both using like AI tools to help us program, right? So GitHub Copilot and things like that, but also more so doing things like adding onto our README and cleaning everything up from there. Hello, is this LLM image or something else? Out of those, something else. We're working on, if you want to see more details about the project, it's all in here in the repository. Generally what we're working on and kind of the things that we've worked on so far. It's all laid out here. It's the resource that's scrolling on the bottom of your page right now. So hopefully that's helpful. Let me know if you have any other questions. Alrighty, let's hop back in here. We have our admin routes. This is the create the admin, create the assignment. Okay, what is grade monitoring and what's the purpose of this app? So to kind of quote the website, it's an open source automated grade tracking system designed to support educators by streamlining student progress, right? So it identifies missing assignments and grade thresholds, sends personalized emails reminders to students. There's a couple ways in which we could incorporate AI into here, right? Which is kind of the main discussion point of what we're going to be figuring out this stream. Right, but whether it's helping us draft these email reminders or whether it's working through like actually help using, you know, various AI tools to help us build this project. Those are kind of both of our options there, if that makes sense. Let me know if that answered both those questions. Okay. I mean, you could just make some basic code sending reminders if X days have passed. So my point is, isn't this making it more complex than necessary? I mean, sure, you could also rely on like existing, you know, tracker and tools, right? And then everything else. But you have to ask yourself like a couple of questions. Like, first of all, what's the purpose behind building this out too, right? Like, is it a learning opportunity? Can you drop the link to the repo? It's on the bottom of the page, but sure, I'll drop just a link to the GitHub repo too. To clarify that other question again, right? Portion of it is we're kind of creating things to make it a learning experience, right? So working through that, then, my goodness. Right? Like, yes, you could say X days have passed, but as a current high school teacher, sometimes that's not enough. There's a reason why, like, I'm thought about the idea of him building out this extension to begin with. And that's because sometimes the lack of high involvement accountability is kind of the main issue, if you will. So, not being able to add in these tools and resources, right? Or having it more so yes, or like also based on, right, like not necessarily even that, but based on, like potentially things like drafting an email to the student versus drafting the email, right? Like if this is the first email the student is receiving, right? Draft in this person, like in this manner. If this is the second email the student is receiving, it draft in this manner. If this is the third, draft in this manner, right? Things like that, I think, are more helpful, but and I think more of a consideration in general. Not to also mention that, there'll be a decent amount of things that might need to happen before we can even get there, right? Because we've got lots of things to still need to get actually set up, right? Because we actually have to set up authentication here to begin. Or we could ignore that part and focus on kind of working in a sandbox environment, going from there, right? Or we could, just work on building out more of the app throughout the week and then actually going from there in another aspect. I mean, I hadn't, to be honest with y'all, I haven't thought that much ahead about like what specific AI tools and resources and anything else we're going to be like, using within actually creating this project. The goal more so was, let's go ahead and spend some time on stream building out something cool. Really. Hello. Alrighty. Let me think through how I want to kind of think through first things I want to do here. Right, because then this is our added prerequisites are built with our contributing.md file, right? The license part, this is fine. Oh, hold up. Hold on. Sorry about that. For some reason, I had to add the authenticator. Hello. I had to add the auth code to my GitHub account because even though I was just logged in, but I digress. I do need to add a new issue, please. Feature request. All right, let's work on sorting this out. UI so far, we've mostly done backend work. I do actually kind of want to work on some UI stuff maybe today. Maybe do some UI resources, go from there. And then summary, feature request, and building. Actually, do I want to focus on the UI part? What do I even want to? Yeah, so if you go to localhost, right, at this point, open up a new window, right, localhost 3001, right, cannot get / that's fine, / API / classes, right, shift return, cannot get API classes, great, awesome. No, why are you broken again? And we're running the server's connected to Mongo. Cannot get API / classes. Please log in. Cool. So we try off Google. Which AI model are we going to use? I don't know yet. We'll find out. Why is this unknown authentication strategy? Okay, let's scrap that, close and discard, new issue, bug report, unknown, off strategy, Google, summary. There we go. Hello, hello. How are you? Doing okay. It's super gross here today. But I'm a little tired still. Cool. So we've got added a bug report for our unknown off strategy, which we can work on later. I need a super quick break. Just about a minute or so. Well, it'll probably be a little bit longer, but I forgot to refill my water before we started. So I need to go make sure that we go ahead and get that. So I will be back super quickly. BRB. Sorry about that. My poor little dog was having a moment, but he's okay. Hello. If you want to follow up on this question, I'd love to like dive into it a little bit more. How's it like to be hydrated? Oh, it is lovely. Hold on. You can see it. Beautiful, amazing water bottle. However, blend into my background, then you can see my bed, but that's okay. Yeah, if you want to follow up on this question, let me know. Want to go ahead and think about what realistically, what can we do today? And walk through it. Okay. Let's think here. Right, we have our backend, our license, our README, our contributing. I had to chug my breakfast last minute too. So I got to my medicine. Anyway. Yeah. Maybe we should work with lovely little Copilot a little bit and say, you know, this README file let's actually work on trying to debug this issue with Copilot. So I'm going to go into, where is it? It's in routes, right? No, it's in server.ts. All right, no clue what this error means, so let's go ahead and jump into it. Okay, so I have to check the .env files here. All right, let's try to research this a little bit more in here. Open up this guy. I'm going to go back to share my screen here and go from here. I'm getting so many emails. So much to do, my goodness. Okay. Okay, perfect. So now it's saying that the servers connect to MongoDB. Okay, wait, this is good though. Okay, this is good. This is good. So I think we can go ahead and go into the repo, just fix it 10 times and it will probably work. I wish, but unknown auth strategy Google. I'm gonna close this issue. I'm not gonna close this issue. Edit, bug report, Google auth 400 error. There we go. Updated this guy. Yeah, perfect. Let's actually try to go to off Google though. So if I go into here, go into StreamYard, no. Off this one, no. This, yes. So I want to go to localhost 3001. All right, dashboard, cool. So off Google. And start to log in. Interesting. Okay. So I'll close this Google off error because it's no longer really a thing. Then let's figure out this one. Update your schema and drop the index in MongoDB. So we may need to log back into Mongo here really quickly. So where in the world is the username set? So if I search the entire project for username, all right. How do I actually drop the index, though? The $1 million question. All right, so we authenticate with Google, yes. Look, oh. Let me try API classes. Cannot get API admins. All right, I do actually want to try this now. I can log in, yes. Go to your dashboard and click on API admins. Okay, perfect. Yeah, ID, name, email, ID. Why is ID added twice? So let's go to the admin route. When I looked at the list of admins in my project, there is 2 IDs added. Let's check this on the Mongo. Test instances. Should add the admin. Twice. Because it lists there's 2 IDs added that look duplicates. This is only on the API call, not on the okay. We're finally getting in a groove. Finally somewhat getting in a groove, which is good. I'm not on the cluster. Let's see what it comes up with. Let's try that again. So localhost 3001. Perfect. Okay, yeah, name, email ID. Sweet. Much better. Cool. Okay. He should be asked to log in. They're saying to create a new file called middleware, or not file, sorry. A new folder called middleware. All right, and then in the folder, create a new file called TS, right? And then so now if I try it, right, and I go to dashboard, and then I try the API admins. Nice message, please log in. Cool. Yeah. Trying to think about how to best plan this out. Okay, sweet. So now if I log in, right, so then if I go to off Google, right, log in, then should get redirected. And now if I go to APIs, admins, I should be able to see an admin. Sweet, awesome. Okay, cool. Okay. Let's go ahead and push up these changes here. Oh, commit message. Adding or fixing authentication bug and adding middleware. Sweet. Cool. Let's check on it on the Notion, or sorry, on the repo. Feature auth. Okay, so I have to actually compare pull request here. I'm going to actually create this PR. I have performed a self-review on my code. I will merge this PR. And I will delete the branch. And then I'll go ahead and in here, git checkout main. Perfect. And then git pull. Grab everything else. Sweet. Amazing. Okay. Beans. We got PRs closed, issues done. So now I guess we could start on a front end. Should we work with Copilot a little bit more? Honestly, I'm pretty happy with how Copilot handled that. So let's go to add a new chat window. I'm going to close out of all these files so it doesn't use it to learn from it. Let's say, I now want to begin working on the front end for this. Can you help me connect a front end to this project? And so far should include a dashboard that has a login screen and a button that when pressed calls the server and logs in with Google. Let's try that. I'm glad. I really was not in the best groove this morning, so I'm glad that we have something slowly starting. And then we have obviously our front end, new folder in SRC. No, that's just app.tsx. And index.tsx also needs to be created in here. Then within that, right, we've got, no, it should be in SRC. Yes, with components, app index, and then it should also have, not SRC, no. Front end should also have a package.json file. Then it should also have not SRC. Yeah, front end. Should have a tsconfig.json file, and then we don't need a readme. Okay. Now let's cd front end, and then npm install React. Alrighty, cool. So we are installing React right now, which is cool. Sweet. Okay, perfect. So we have to add into the, where's the get ignore? Okay, so in the front end folder, I need to add a new file called the .getignore. And for sure, ignore also needs to have the .env and node modules done. I'm gonna actually exit out of VS Code, re-enter that because it should not tell me I have 10K changes like that. But let's open up nudged here. Yeah, 8 makes much more sense. Perfect. Cool beans. And then we still need to install React routerdom. Let's Let's go to front end. And then let's ask this to Copilot fix. Let's run this install command. We should be good to go after. Oh. So I might need to upgrade my React version. Let's try with Climb. My API key is expired there, so let's go to Copilot. Let's try just npm install React Router DOM. Nope. All right, we're cleaning our cache. Let's try npm install React here. Okay, cool. So now I need to install React Router done. What? I feel like I should do that again. I think I know what the problem is now. Let me try that again. Delete. I think this is why we can't just blindly trust AI. So let's npm install React. But I don't think. Hold on. No, something about that feels weird too. Delete. That was way too quick. Delete. Yach. Delete both these files, and then I need to clear the cache as well. Clean. Cool, and then npm install React, I think. How the hell? How was that so fast? I'm confused. Whatever. Then npm install React Router done, please. Please, 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 please. I think it's actually going to be this one. Okay, let's try that. Hello, hello. Lots of deprecated code. No worries. I'm happy you're here. Make sure you go ahead and check in. There's check-in links and everything else in the file right there. We're going to open up terminal windows. We're going to try do some test runs. So in your first terminal, cd backend, npm run dev, perfect. Then in our second terminal, cd front end, then npm start. We're just happy you're here. Okay, things are installing. Slowly but surely. Okay. Very, very slowly but surely. Ugh, it's cold here today. It's gonna be rainy all day and gross, but got rain pretty much all day. But it's okay. I'm gonna take my dog out on a walk after we're done, which is fun. I got a new dog. I'm very excited about him. He's the best. Okay. Lots of installs. That's fine. NPM start now. Okay. So much asking for help because I haven't done web dev since who even knows how long. I should have just done a create React app. I don't know why I did this in the worst way. I mean, I still could. So why is it pulling from 3,000 instead of 3,001? Okay. I need to change some file so that I go to local host 3001 and auth Google, not API auth, so that login works correctly. I don't know what file it is. I have no clue. Genuinely. Let me look for API. Yeah, so I need Windows location href to be off Google, and then proxy package.json I don't know if this question makes any sense, chat. Sorry, Copilot. Let's see. I want to change the port that the front end runs on. They're saying .env. Okay. No, not my secrets. Okay. All right, let's try localhost 3000. Oh. We're starting the development server, log in with Google. I already have an API key for Google Auth. It's in my backend DNV files. What's the status so far? I'm saying of my jet since I took a break. We're doing okay. I'm making some solid progress with this, with the front end here, but dashboard CXX. I need though. Pretty sure it's this. Let me try that now. Go home here, log in with Google, log in. Sweet. Looks much better. Dashboard. There'll be changes I want to make, right? Like obviously I want to, when I log in, instead of returning, right? Like if I go to the index server.ts file, right? Like now when logged in, instead of saying like, welcome to your dashboard, all right, like we should be able to send some sort of user information, but it looks like it's working for the most part. Working front end, back end off with Google. Sweet. Let's commit. Sync these changes up, and it's 9:44, and we end in 16 minutes. So let's think about what we can realistically accomplish in 16. The new program, the back end panel. Why is the dashboard not visible? Yeah, I did program the back end panel. Right, so login with Google. We don't have the dashboard actually set up yet, but now, right, when we actually off, we go in here, right, if we were to go to localhost 3000, now, right, yeah, there's some kinks still to work out with it, but it's going somewhat okay. Let's work on some README stuff to wrap up the stream. Get me a list of the technologies you can see in this project folder for me to include. Do you know what the next stream is, by the way? Thank you. Absolutely. So first of all, you can always check the schedule at ghw.mlh.io. But to go ahead and give you some more specifics, the next stream today is going to be at 12 a.m. EST. So in 1 hour, that's today in Global Hack Week, day 5. I believe it is Quinn, which is awesome. And then we have a stream after that with a new MLHer, which is Yash, and we're doing introductions to GANs there, which will be really fun. Then we got intro 3D modeling, Tetris mini events, RAG, MCP agents, image classifications, LLM as a judge, Typeracer, powered GenAI, MCP agents, and more EdTech hacks with me on Thursday. So next stream period in 1 hour and, change, right, at 12 p.m. Eastern time. That's going to be our Today in Global Hack Week summary. Next technical stream, brand new MLHer, Yash and Quinn. Or actually, I think this might be somebody from a third party joining us. Yeah, I think we've got a special guest on the next one. So anyway, introduction to GANs, which is fun. And then that one is at 2 p.m. Eastern time. And then next stream with me is going to be on Thursday, same time as today. So 9 a.m. Eastern. For me to include in the readme.md file of my project, divide them up by front end and back end, write the description in Markdown. All right, cool. Now is also a great time while Copilot does its thing for me to plug the GHW feedback form. So mlh.link/GHW feedback, I believe, is the form. Let me double check though. Yes. So this is the next important one. Please, 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 if you enjoyed this stream, give me some love over at mlh.link/GHW feedback. I'm also going to paste this in our Nudged Resources homepage, just so we have it. Nudged Notion, please. Perfect. So check in links and times. Let's do feedback link for GenAI week is at mlh.link/GHW feedback. Perfect. Yeah, so we've got our repository here, right? Our part one summary with some of the things that we did in the first part, which hopefully were useful for you. And I'm going to leave that up here. All right. Okay, so I'm going to do a couple of changes to my readme.md here. No, we're not opening Android Studio. Copied stream title, but can't find it. Which one on the list is it? Let me check real quick. It should just be AI-powered EdTech hack. So don't include the, yeah, should be just written the same way that this one is. Don't include the GHW GenAI week part. So yeah. Okay. All right. So I think. All right, we're gonna go ahead and copy this nice little part. Yeah. Sure, so let's go into readme.md here. And luckily for us, we do have an hour break after this, and I know we start a couple minutes late, so I'll probably stay on a couple minutes longer, just in case. Let's find readme.md here. The project built with. Okay. Let's comment this out. Now, how do I do the thing to view or read me in VS Code again? Let me figure this out. Compile readme in VS Code. What was that? Control Shift V. Cool. Or is it going to be Command Shift V on Mac? Okay, perfect. So it is Command Shift V on Mac. So to do boom, boom. Okay, preview readme.md. We're not doing Node. So also open up our Copilot chat. So front end, we're doing React, of course. Then we'll do in here TypeScript. These are the the shields badges. Image shields.io. Now for TypeScript. No badges. Yeah, simple cons. Right, so then we have, if I were to try, for example, right, and here we have the React part. Then we have, of course, the which is it? Node. Or would it be Node? And here we'll change the name. So I think Node.js badge. Perfect. This is the one I want. And we have here next. I'm not thinking of using next.js here, so we'll delete this. Then we have the, this is the, how do you write comments in React again? Hold on. Or Markdown, it's, this is the, what is it called? This is the file with the tech shields. Sweet. This is the Node.js one. So let me refresh this page. All right, then we have Node.js, which is going to be, yep. And then in here, Node.js, and then I want to actually go to Node URL, right? So Node.js. We'll go to nodejs.org, of course. So then we do node-url is going to be right here, which is cool, right? Yes, yes. Let's see how this is looking. Yep, React and Node. I don't think I want to do bullet points though. React and Node.js, and then we want to do Express. Express badge. Simple icons, please, or not shields. Shields is what I want. Perfect. It's the express.js one. Yeah, this is the one I want. Cool. But then, so I want Express, and then Express dash URL is going to be at this link. Not the outlet. Not the shopping mall. Perfect. All right, and then .env I don't think we need right now. And we could do cool. React, Node.js, Express.js. We also need the MongoDB shields. For MongoDB URL, so let's just go MongoDB here, right? Then of course we go up again. And then last but certainly not least, let's do the TypeScript shields real quick. Perfect. So then we'll do React, And then in here, we're going to do TypeScript. And then TypeScript dash URL, which will go TypeScript. Do that. Then, of course, go back up here, then do TypeScript. Perfect. All right, so React, TypeScript, Node.js. All right, cool. And then let's go ahead and push this up. Updated README .md with technologies. Sweet. Go ahead and commit this guy up. Sync this up as well. Perfect. And then let's take a look at the repo, see how that looks. Built with, perfect. So let's go ahead and mark this as finished. Finished on part 1 of 25. GHW stream. Close with comment. Perfect. So we've got 2 issues, right? Contributing.md and then prerequisites into the readme.md file. Looking solid. Not bad. Here we have contributors, forks, stars, issues, the license, and then, of course, our MERN stack, yes, usage roadmap, and then top contributors, license acknowledgements. Looks solid so far. Okay, I don't think there's much else we can unfortunately do in the next, well, -1 minute, but this is your friendly reminder to give us some feedback at mlh.link/GHW feedback. And to thank you all very, very much for coming. So I'm very excited that y'all were here and we had a pretty solid stream, especially once we got going later on down the line. I'm excited to add in some new features and generally make some super cool changes on Thursday of this week. And yeah, that'll be everything from me. You need anything else, you can go ahead and find me. And I will see you all in a few short days. I'm excited for this one. Alrighty. Bye, everybody.